Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
So now let's look at topic 8. So in the topic 8, we'll see human development as an indicator. So until now, we had been learning about many indicators which allows us to have an understanding of the level of development of the countries in the world, right? So we briefly also mentioned about the importance of human development, human welfare, and the importance of health and education in making that as an indicator to illustrate the economic development of any country. So, like we learned before, health and education, it becomes a very important part of the human development to make it an indicator of the progress and economic development of the country. Okay. Now, human development is widely used along with the national income or per capita income as an indicator to measure the economic development. Now, who uses it? It's the economists. The economists are the ones who study and who look at the economies of different countries in detail. So, they are experts on the subject. Okay, they are experts on the subject of economy. They are the ones who try to understand national income, per capita income, other indicators, and they try to understand the various different levels of different countries' economic development. So economists use human development as a very important indicator. So human development is a process of improvements in human beings. So all that improvement measures are done which allows the improvement of the living condition of the human beings. That itself constitutes what human development is. Okay? Now people or the human beings, they are very important, one of the important resources, and that is called human resources. Okay, human resource, a very important part of the resource. Now that resource is needed for the economic development, like the other resources. Okay, like other resources, like natural resources, the other chemical resources, mineral resources, all that. In addition to that, human resource is also important. Now, for this resource to be used, to be applied for the development, investments need to be made. And investments are made on the human resource in the form of health, education sectors. So investments are made in health, in education sectors. So people who are part of the human resource can avail the facilities made available to them by health care, by education, colleges, universities, and they go on to join the workforce for the production, for the economic activities, which finally contributes to the economic development. So, the United Nations Development Programme, or the UNDP, it uses Human Development Index as a very important indicator to measure the human development. Human development is measured with the use of Human Development Index, and this was first started by the UNDP in the year 1990. Okay, now human development, it is a very wide and rich indicator, okay, meaning that it involves other indicators as well. Like for example, national income is also part of its indicator, is also part of it, but it does not replace it. It constitutes as another important key indicator along with the health and education of the Human Development Index. Okay, so the Human Development Index, it helps in our understanding of the real development of any particular country, and this includes the Human Development Index includes education and health, and it does not exclude income or national income. That is also part of its indicator. Now the HDI measures its achievements. Okay, the Human Development Index tries to see how countries have achieved their goal in terms of development in three basic ways. First, they look at the life expectancy of that country, life expectancy of the people in that country. By that it means that they try to measure how healthy and long the people in that country have lived or can live. The next basis is literacy, adult literacy. So they look at the education factor. Okay, so they see how many have received education, how many have not received education, how many are literate, how many are illiterate. So accordingly, the HDI measures the development of that country. The third basis is the per capita income or GDP. Okay, so by looking at that, it again goes on to help in the understanding of the real development of any country. Now the HDI, which is under the UNDP, that rates the countries on the scale of 0 to 1. Okay, not on the scale of 1 to 10 but 0 to 1 it rates. And with that rate, what do we understand is that we understand that certain countries are developed or certain countries have better human development and other countries have not so well or poor human development index. So the countries which have a score of 0.5 and below, that country is considered to have low human development. Alright, and those countries which have their score between 0.5 and 0.8, those countries are considered to have medium level of human development index. Okay, and the countries which have scores between 0.8 and 0.9, they are considered to have high level of HDI. And those who have above 0.9, they are considered to have very high human development in the country. Now here there are two things which we need to keep in our mind. The first is the HDI measures, okay, the Human Development Index measures relative and not absolute level of human development. The level the development that they measure is not absolute. They measure the relative one. Okay, and the second is that their main emphasis is on the goals. Their main emphasis is to see how the country achieve its goal. Okay, how the countries try to achieve its goal of being a developed country. What do? Whether they spend more money on education, whether they spend more money in increasing the income or salary of the people. So that way it emphasizes on the goals of the country. So for them, what is important? The longevity, how long the people live, how healthy they live. If they live long, that means people are healthy enough to live long. If they do not live long, that means people are not healthy enough. So because of which they cannot live for a long time. And the other thing is knowledge. For them, knowledge is very important, which is education, right? Whether people are literate, whether people can read or write, whether they can speak, all these things. And the third is the condition of living or the standard of living. How do the people live? What is the condition of people's livelihood? Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's fair, whether it's better. So all these help in measuring how the countries achieve their goal in the terms of development. So here we have a table which has Human Development Index for the year 2017 and it has selected countries, not all the countries in the world. Alright. So of all these countries, you can see where India falls in that category. So India has a medium human development level and its rank is 131. Its index is 0.6. per capita income is 6,616, and then so is life expectancy here. The data is given, literacy rate, and you can see in this list among all these countries, Afghanistan is at the lowest. Okay, that means Afghanistan's human development level is extremely low, and the highest is that of Norway. Okay, so this is how we understand the human development of the country, which allows us to get an understanding of the development, overall development of that country.